No?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. I'm Clint Ryan Ubaldi, Base Cream 1, Section D. Here's my video reporting regarding from what comes into your mind when you hear the word nationalism and patriotism. So let's go first to the nationalism. Nationalism is an ideology and movement defined by promoting the interests of particular nation, in particular with the aim of acquiring and maintaining the nation's sovereignty over its country of origin. Ingon ni Smith 2010. Ingon ni Smith, nationalism daw ay ideology and movement. So ideology means system of ideas and ideals. And movement is a development. So meaning development by promoting the interests of particular nation, aiming of acquiring and maintaining the nation's sovereignty over its country of origin. So dapat nagyud ang unity para ma-aim ang isa ka nationalism. So another definition of nationalism is nationalism claims that each nation should regulate itself free from outside invention, that nation is natural and ideal political basis, and that's a nation the only legitimate source of political authority. Ana ni Finlayson 2014. Giangkon sa nationalism nga ang matag bansa dapat kontrolon ang kaugalingon, free from outside intervention. Na ang isa ka bansa ay isang likas na perpekto na basihan sa politika, and that's a nation conforming the source of political authority. So nationalism also aim to build and maintain single identity based on shared social characteristics such as language, cultures, religion, politics, and beliefs in a distinguished shared history, and to promote natural unity or solidarity. Yak 2012. So the simplest definition of nationalism is nationalism have the intention of achieving or many purpose to build and maintain single identity. So dapat naadjud ang unity o solidarity para ma-aim ang nationalism. So okay, let's proceed to the types of nationalism. So here's the number 1, ethnic nationalism, also known as ethno-nationalism. Is a form of nationalism wherein the nation is defined by in terms of ethnicity. And the second one is civic nationalism or civil nationalism. Claims that individuals have rights and responsibilities to their nation but are not entitled to their own countries. And the third one is expansionist nationalism, is an aggressive and militaristic form of nationalism that is invariably associated with charismatic beliefs and doctrines. Then the fourth is nationalism. Romantic nationalism is the form of ethnic nationalism in which the states derive political legitimacy as a result of expression of the nation's natural. And the 5 is cultural nationalism, is a form of nationalism that places primary emphasis on the regeneration of nation as a distinguished civilization rather than as discrete political community. And the 6 is third world nationalism. Nationalist feelings are the outcome of opposition to colonial rule to survive and maintain a domestic identity. And the 7 is liberal nationalism. It's a kind of nationalism lately defended by political philosophers who think that a non-xenophobic form of nationalism compatible with the liberal values of liberty, tolerance, equality, and individual rights can exist. And the 8 is religious nationalism. It's a kind of nationalism connected to a specific religion, faith, church, and affiliation. And the 9 is pan-nationalism. Ethnic or cultural nationalism refers to a country that is itself cluster of associated ethnic and cultural communities. Example for this is Turkish people. And the 10 is diaspora nationalism. Diaspora nationalism, or Benedict Anderson terms it long-distance nationalism, generally refers to nationalist feeling among diaspora such as the Irish in the United States, Jews around the world after the explosion of Jerusalem 586 before Common Era, the Lebanese in the Americans, and Africa or Africans in Europe. Stateless nationalism on national basis, for example, the Calachans and Basques in Spain, an ethnic or cultural minority with a nation state aims independence. And the 12 is National conservatism is a variant of conversation common in Europe and Asia that concentrates on upholding national and cultural identity, usually combining this national concern with the conservative stances promoting traditional values. And the, and the third, revolving nationalism. Revolving nationalism is a broad label that has been applied to many different types of nationalist political movements that wish to achieve to their goals through revolution against the established order. And the 14, left-wing nationalism is a form of nationalism based upon national self-determination, popular sovereignty, and social equality. Left-wing nationalism can also include anti-imperialism and national liberation movements. So that's all about the nationalism. Let's move more to the patriotism. Let's define first the word patriotism. Patriotism or national pride is a sense of love, dedication, and attachment to a country, an alliance with other people who share the same impression. Patriotism is a feeling of love and devotion towards the country. Sentiments, a thought of view, of attitude, especially one based mainly emotion instead of reason, beliefs, or feelings. Patriotic will be willing to offer as a sacrifice to his nation. He or she will never live alone egotistically. Let's move forward to the kinds of patriotism. Patriotism of duty. This kind of patriotism that represents a duty of special concern for the well-being of one's country and compatriots and a device for assigning to individuals some universal duty. Patriotic duty owes to the moral force of those universal duty. And the second is patriotism of affection. This is the patriotism of heart. It is about one internal desire for the country's well-being of duty, but it does not necessarily result in one can truly love his country and yet be a coward. Just one the theologically fulfill patriotic duty and yield to apathic about the country's welfare. And the third is patriotism of manner. This is the custom, patriotism, written and unwritten. The patriotism of manner is a place of one hands over the heart during the national anthem. It can be forwarded by anyone without actually needing or duty patriotism. Well, above types of patriotism show, at least in one part, the real belief and hopes of person. The patriotism of manners establishes mostly a set of protocols. So that's all the kinds of patriotism. So let's forward to the types of patriotism. Number 1 is personal patriotism, means the emotionally voluntary. The patriot adheres to certain patriotic values such as respect for the flag or the honorary of veterans. And the second one is official patriotism. This is promoted by government, which has a high symbolic and careful content. And the third is symbolic patriotism. In wartime, instead of raise morale in the contributing the word effort. And the fourth is peacetime patriotism. Cannot be easily linked to a measurable gain for the state that patriot does not see it inferior. So that's all about the patriotism. And let's go to the difference between patriotism and nationalism. This is a considerable difference between nationalism and patriotism. While nationalism emphasizes a unity of culture past with exclusion of the language and heritage, patriotism is both based on love towards with a greater emphasis on values and beliefs. So that's all. Thank you, ma'am.